Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. June 28th, Sunday, June 28th, might be the biggest day in all of professional wrestling history. Well, that's probably not true at all, but June 28th is a really big day because we're going head to head to head. We have TNA Slammiversary at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We have NXT The Great American Bash at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then also we have AEW's Forbidden Door at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So we have a head to head to head competition between TNA, NXT, and AEW. And now an interesting thing that Eric Bischoff actually said in July of 2025. He said if TNA gets the right TV deal, they will become the number 2 wrestling promotion, which means TNA would become better than AEW if they got the right TV deal. And that was in July of 2025. We are now in June of 2026, and AEW is still number 2 in the rankings. Now, I've seen Eric Bischoff have some really good takes, but I've also seen him have some really dumb takes. Like he was on Devon Dudley's YouTube show, and he said that during WrestleMania, when WWE is having WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, that AEW should rent out an arena and play WrestleMania on the screen and have vendors. What? So AEW should buy out a stadium, sell tickets, have vendors just to play WrestleMania on the big screen for people to watch? That's might be the dumbest idea I think I've ever heard in my whole life. And I don't think TNA has the star power or the money behind it to ever become number 2. They're a really, really good promotion, and I have a lot of friends that work there, and it's awesome. And Slammiversary on June 28th is going to be amazing, but they won't become number 2. Maybe he's right. They become number 2 simply if they get the best TV deal they can possibly get, and they're guaranteed viewers, and they pour a little bit more money behind them, and they can get larger audiences and more fans to attend. But their Slammiversary show will be amazing, and people will watch. His next worst idea was WrestleMania is in Saudi Arabia. Okay, so what are we going to do for the American fans? Well, what we're going to do for the American fans is make it easier to watch our competition. We're going to buy out a stadium. We're going to have vendors. Everyone's going to make money. And then on the huge screen in the middle of the stadium, we're going to play WWE. No, you run your own show in the United States. You run your own show in the United States during WrestleMania weekend for all the indie promotions and the indie wrestlers, and have your own show and all these types of things, and you garner and take the United States fans who don't want to stay up at a weird time or aren't going to fly to the Middle East to watch WrestleMania, you nudge them over to the AEW side. You don't rent out a stadium and play WWE. No, you focus on your own product. You focus on the indies and getting those guys reps, because what's really cool about WrestleMania week is the independent shows. Every wrestling fan is there, looking for all sorts of things to do, and AEW could capitalize on that in the American setting with WWE going to Saudi Arabia. So, shitty take from Eric Bischoff, but it is what it is. He had his time in the sun where he was like the guy. Anyways, go back to Sunday, January 28th, TNA, NXT, AEW. I don't think there is much competition between the 3 companies. WWE is the top. It makes the most money. It has the most stature, and it has the most reach. AEW is the next, and TNA is there in the third. And then you have like adjacent ROH, and then you have some American fans are into New Japan Pro Wrestling, but that's really just a Japanese company. And AEW loves to bring over those guys from New Japan because they have a partnership. AEW also owns Ring of Honor, and I still don't know really what the relationship is between TNA and WWE, but there's something there. I think out of these 3 shows, I think AEW Forbidden Door will probably be the best. I think TNA Slammiversary will be the next best, and I think NXT Great American Bash will be the third best. I don't know much about NXT. I don't follow it very heavily at all. I know TNA Slammiversary is the biggest show of the year for TNA, and so they will just becoming guns a-blazing. I mean, on the TNA Slammiversary sort of promotional picture, you have Matt and Jeff Hardy, you have Dolph Ziggler, you have Moose, right? Some of these big stars that are in TNA. AEW Forbidden Door, people really like that one because you get kind of unique matchups, and I don't really know what NXT is going to do with the Great American Bash. And it's also really funny about WWE because they always say they're not really paying attention to the internet haters, they're not really paying attention to what's happening in AEW, but then they purposely run shows at the same time as what was supposed to be a partnership with TNA, but it's like a little bit later, so you assume like people will watch TNA Anniversary or TNA Slammiversary, then go right into NXT Great American Bash. But they purposely put shows at the same time as AEW. Even though they claim they don't care about, they're not thinking about the competition, it's not competition. You fucking know what you're doing. Just be honest about it. AEW certainly is competition for specific wrestling fans that are trying to decide between AEW and WWE. Right? WWE specifically is a sports entertainment company, but there are some professional wrestling fans who watch WWE. Most of the AEW fans just love professional wrestling, and that's what they go to watch. And so there is a little bit of competition, and there is a little bit of overlap between WWE fans and AEW fans. And I think Forbidden Door is going to be better than Great American Bash. But again, I don't really know the NXT talent, and I don't know what WWE is planning for Great American Bash. I just know that they always claim they don't look at the internet haters, and that doesn't, tweak the way they go about business, even though they brought R-Truth back and things of that nature. And that they don't worry about AEW, even though they run shows the same day as them. And so it's just very interesting what they say and how they operate. But all WWE cares about now is money and greed, and so it makes sense that they would run a show on the same day as TNA and AEW. But those are just my quick thoughts. We'll know more as matches and stuff get announced for these shows. Maybe they already have. I just haven't looked deep into the shows. I just saw that on Sunday, June 28th, we could potentially have 3 wrestling shows that you could watch, 4 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., NXT and AEW basically at the same time, and you can watch TNA Slammiversary a little bit before that. So it'd be interesting to see which of those shows gets the most views, gets the best ratings, and creates the most buzz going into the Monday following. But those are my thoughts and views on that TNA Slammiversary, Great American Bash, and AEW Forbidden Door. What do you think about the head-to-head competition? Is it really competition? Is it smart of WWE? What's the process that you think about there? Let me know in the comments down below. Then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.